Hello everyone, T-Dub here, and welcome back to the finale of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Yes, this is the final part of the playthrough. Kind of, really doesn't feel like we've been here all that long, and yet, here we are, at the end, searching for the final miracle item. There we go, it hit my brain. Took an extra second. Anyways, we think Benkei here has it due to him having the huge collection, but unfortunately, he does not, but he knows who might. The Collector. Keihachi! Reminds me of Heihachi. One of these days I gotta play a modern fighting game. The last fighting game I bought was Mortal Kombat 11. Of course, I've played all the Smash Brothers games, but some people don't count those because those are too much of a party game to be counted as proper fighting games. But yeah, outside of Mortal Kombat 11, the last real fighting game I played was, I think Tekken on PlayStation 2, one of the Tekken games there? Yeah. I'm not always in the loop when it comes to fighting games, not exactly my scene, as it were. So yeah, this is Keihachi. He's a water imp. What's the name of them? There's a name for them. Kappa. Yes, I think that's how it's pronounced. Kappa, 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 chameleon. He comes and goes. He comes and goes. So we have to try to convince him to give us the final miracle item so that way we can go into space and fight the enemy once and for all. Sir, what were you doing underwater? Sir? Sir, we cannot see your hands. Sir? Fuck's sakes. Anyways, we had to find his favorite food. Now, if you return there, he'll just blatantly tell us. Kind of a weird thing for a game thrown there. Especially because if we just go and talk to one of these NPCs, they'll tell us. Of course, Kappas love cucumber. Not sure where that comes from, how that originates within that myth, but who knows? Somebody familiar with Japanese mythology, please, 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 please sign off in the comments. I say as though there's more than 20 people watching this. This video actually I'd actually be honestly, I would feel very happy if this got 20 views even. Ugh. By the way, my Final Fantasy IX video recently crossed 50 views, so that's cool. Really glad you all enjoyed that review. So this is the priest, and his son is the one who makes the world's most delicious cucumber. But he is at a mountain, Mount Nuegatake. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But we can't just go there. We must first learn a skill of great jumping. This guy is wiggling just a bit too much for my liking. Sir, stop your wiggling. What are you doing? Please stop. This space is way too confined for that amount of wiggling. Just no. Anyways, the training gym we're going to want to find is out over here. Now, if you paid attention to the last time we visited this area, you may notice this area with a gold lock. Yeah, kind of an odd placement, but, I got nothing else to say. It's just an odd placement. I was trying to come up with a good reasoning for it, but none could enter my head. Anyways, this is my least favorite of the minigames, if you want to call them that. Our whole goal is to climb this tower, reach the top. Somehow, someway, I was able to do this in one attempt. I was honestly shocked myself. This game, for me, is not really at its best when it focuses solely on platforming because, as you can see there, it's not exactly Mario 64 we're dealing with here. I mean, the platforming isn't the worst I played. I mean, it's gotta be better than Bubsy 3D at least. But, you know, once again, it's not Mario 64. It's not Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong. It's kind of in that middle range area as far as its overall quality goes. Not the best, but not the worst. It's honestly, this game is at its best when it just focuses on unique set pieces and not solely on this style of platforming. Like the Gourmet Submarine, for example. That was a lot of fun because it was a really interesting and bizarre area. The Goemon series is always at its best when it does that. Although I will say, objectively, Goemon's Great Adventure is a good side-scrolling platformer. It's just that those aren't really my thing. They're not my bag, man. It's just not my bag. Anyways, we have reached the end. You have no idea how relieved I felt. Because there are some times whenever I play through that part where it takes me 3-4 attempts, and it's just that feeling of, please, just let it end, let it end, end. So we're going to show off this new ability. As you can see, it's less of an ability and more of just a jetpack. Why did we need training for a jetpack? Someone explained to me. I do not understand. Why would you need training for a jetpack when you are a robot? Robots do not need training. I think that guy was just hoarding the jetpack for himself, quite honestly. And I do not appreciate that. Now we're back in Zazen Town proper. Here's the mountain. Mount Noigatake. Believe that. Once again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Hopefully I'm doing it justice. It's not so much a mountain, though. More of a steep hill. Then again, this says N64, and they couldn't always render each mountain the size of Mount Fuji. That would take up way too much memory on the cartridge. So yeah, here's the priest's son, who looks exactly like the priest. Almost like they only have a set amount of NPC models to use. So yeah, now we needed 800 Rio. So 800 here, 300 for the witch, 1100 in total that is required to finish this game. I remember that, once again, going back to a much previous part, I remember that being quite the hurdle for some of my friends back in the day because, you know, kids weren't always good at keeping track of money. And they'll just spend it on all sorts of random armor and rice balls because, you know, us being kids, we were dying all the time. Difference being was, I would always stock up on money on my playthroughs. They wouldn't. And they wouldn't pay attention to areas where you could farm for money. And of course, I would. I'm not saying I was intelligent, it's just that I was slightly more perceptive. And as I could have cut past Festival Village, but it's Festival Village. Why would I do that? It's Festival Village! So here's our final visit here. This place. This music. The atmosphere. The vibes! And now it's gone. Bye, Festival Village. You're my favorite part of the game. Might as well just end this video here. There's no point. I should just stop commenting and just let the video speak for itself, because what more is there to say? We exited Festival Village. It's Festival Village! I mean, yes, this shoreline is cool, and yes, this music is great, but is it Festival Village? No. No, it's not. And so, like, you know, I guess we'll just continue onwards. I guess. Ugh. So here we have the Pamo God. I remember Googling this a while back and just could not find any information on the mythology of this thing. So once again, I know I'm asking a lot of this part, but people familiar with Japanese mythology, if the Pamo God is based on anything, please let me know. I am curious. And now we're off into space! Uchukita! This is the gorgeous musical castle! Oh yes, that music is quite good. It's not Festival Village good, but it's still good. Come on, Nick. You have to let go of Festival Village. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So yeah, Sasuke's jetpack kind of, sort of completely breaks the platforming challenges here. This is why they waited till the end of the game to give it to you, because they knew. It's almost like these people playtested their games. Remember when that happened? Remember when developers were given enough time to playtest their games, and publishers weren't like, we'll let the players test it out themselves, and then patch it later. Modern game development has got to be hell. Especially because, you know, a lot of developers don't even know if they're going to keep their jobs after the game's released. You know, it used to be like, if the game sold a bajillion copies, hey, you get to make the sequel. But now it's like, hey, your game sold a bajillion copies. You're still fired because we want to save more money. Ugh. Fucking state of this industry. State of this industry. I have to wonder, if this game was given like a super HD makeover, what would these textures look like? Because there is a bit of a charm in the sort of low quality 3D textures for me. I have no idea if they expected you to get up here this way, because there is an alternate path to get up there, but to hell with that. If I can do any sort of speedrun skips, I will. I'm all about them speedrun strats, excuse me, speedrun strats, and that will not be the last one you see. Although the last one, the next one you see is only saves about 20 seconds, but you know, thinking about it, every second counts in a speedrun. You'd be surprised at how much down to the millisecond some speedrunners count, down to the frame. Like, I used to watch speedrunners on Twitch all the time, like 10, 15 years ago, and they would just be absolutely balling on those things. They'd be like, alright, here we go. Just gotta hit this move right here, and yep, just save myself 3 frames. And will put me right in line to break the world record. And 10, 9, 8, here we go. About to break the record. Oh, I just saved myself more frames. Alright, got a guaranteed world record here. And winner! They'd basically just count down like that, and I have no idea how many times you have to play a game to be that good at counting the frames of it. Jeez Louise. Truthfully, it could never ever be me. Anyways, I had a few failed attempts here, because I kind of just got a bit too cocky. And I tried to do this without the jetpack, essentially. Sometimes, you know, if the game gives you tools, use them. Yes, the Diamond Dallas key. Are you ready for a speedrun strat? So what you're supposed to do is go around to the other side of that balcony, hit a switch that would cause that staircase to go down, but once again I saved myself like 15-20 seconds. I never see anyone else do that, don't know why. By the way, there is a fortune doll in this particular room, but we will not be getting it because I'm all about making this a quick playthrough. Not a completionist one. There are quite a few completionist playthroughs of this game you can find yourself, but, you know, I just wanted to get a few of the fortune dolls. In fact, at the end of this game, you're going to see how many I decided to skip, and it's a lot. A lot. So, this is basically the quote-unquote town area, but there are still enemies here, and if you ever get caught up in those roses, they will do damage over time, which makes me glad that I have armor. That will take the hit for me, as you'll see right there. As you can also see, the helmet gauge is going down, which means those count as projectiles, and those do 4 points of damage. 4! Which, if you collect all your fortune dolls, not a big deal, but as you can see by the health amount that I have, a much bigger deal. Anyways, I'm just walking around here like this to sort of take in the music, let you guys hear it a bit, as I say as I talk over it. So this is the inn. I actually never showed off what the inn rooms look like. Ugh, missed opportunity. This is what happens when you don't stop to smell the proverbial roses. At least I stopped to talk to several NPCs. If I'd never talked to a single NPC in this game, that probably would have shaved off like another 10, 15 minutes. But I feel like even that would be just excessive, not talking to any NPCs, because at that point, why are you even playing the game? NPCs are like the bread and butter of action-adventure games and RPGs. Yeah, I hate those things. Real pain. Thankfully, going into a building will nullify their effects. Also, notice that there is nobody standing next to the person taking or the waitress? Yes. Why did my mind blank on that for so long? Let's play Curse. Before we do any talking, let's buy some armor and helmets. I don't think we can afford both. Yeah, we can only afford the helmets. Sad face. Anyways, it's Omitsu. And once again, perfect utilization of the text. I love it. Just big, huge capital letters that actually take up the entire box. Yeah, imagine if they turned all of Japan into a stage. That would be terrible. Then everyone would be singing and dancing. And nobody would want that. No! Certainly not me. I'm not a person who enjoys music. I haven't been gushing about it this entire playthrough. Especially not Festival Village, the greatest village in all of Goemon lore. So yeah, she told us to go into this restaurant next door as there's someone there that she saw. What kind of Houdini-ass bullshit is this? We were just here, he was not, and now all of a sudden, he appears. And once again, we're going to get some really hilarious dialogue. Yeah, this is probably my favorite dialogue exchange of the entire game. It's like everything just built up to this one moment. Yes, muscle car poster and muscle car magazines. That's what those are. Sure, wink. Here it comes. My favorite moments. All those car magazines! I just love the blinking text. Just putting just the most emphasis on car magazines. As if to almost, point attention to the fact that, oh yeah, you know what we mean by this. You get it. So now we have level 3 weapons. There isn't any ability upgrades to these, they just do more damage and allow us to enter the final parts of the final castle. It says rigid doors can be destroyed, but there's only the one door we use this on. Unfortunately, you cannot talk to this NPC. How unfortunate. Unfortunately unfortunate. So now we must enter the final part of the castle, and you know what? I'm just gonna shut my yapper once we get close enough to it, so that way you guys can just take in the music, because this is an all-time track. Just you wait. Was I wrong? Like, holy hell, they really went all out for this one. It's almost as good as Festival Village. I know some people might say it's better, but those people are wrong. So over here, we just got some final puzzle challenges to utilize our various abilities. I remember this being quite a bit more challenging when I was a youth, but then again, I can say that about a lot of video games, especially ones that I ended up replaying over and over and over and over and over again. Have I gone across how many times I've replayed this game yet? By the way, about to see, I guess, another speedrun strat of sorts. Instead of just going into impact mode and pushing those, we can just utilize Sasuke's jetpack ability. Also, if you don't have any Ryo here, you can't use it, because once again, Goemon's ability uses up 10 Ryo. I don't know why they did that. One could argue it's a balancing thing, but the ability itself is already balanced by not just giving you double attack power, but also halving your defense. So that alone is perfectly balanced in my opinion. Crazy just how close to the end we already are. Like, my goodness. This playthrough, at least for me, really flew by. I just hope it did for you all as well. It's kind of amazing just how many amazing set pieces they put into this castle. Like, I've seen quite a few games where right at their finale, they kind of just phone it in. In fact, as much as I love Ocarina of Time, that final dungeon, Ganon's Castle, I've never been a fan. Never been a fan of that. It's like, okay, we could come up with something unique, or, hear me out, just do all the previous dungeons again. No! How about no? Alright, let's see if I can get down this slide and get all the money. I'm totally gonna do it this time. I'm gonna have the perfect run end. Well, I got 2 of the Ryo, so, you know, not... Ugh. That was dreadful. I don't know why, but for that slide, I always do terribly. I don't know how some people are able to get down that and just do it perfectly. Now we could go through that door, or I could show this off. Probably my favorite hidden fortune doll. This one can get a lot of players off. What's the phrase I'm looking for? Get them off guard. There you go. That's what I was trying to think of. Can really catch you off guard. Because you wouldn't really think to jump through a painting. So sometimes you just gotta try stuff. Now this place, one could say is amazing. Yeah, my wordplay can be quite a bit punishing. A part of me doesn't even want to talk over this because the music is so damn good. Like, I just want to take it in, but then again, this is a commentated playthrough, which requires me to speak, at least at some moments. And here we have the final room of the entire video game. Yes, this right here, this sort of kaleidoscope-looking room. Gotta make sure not to fall into any bottomless pits, which I suppose sometimes can be easier said than done if you're not paying attention. So you always gotta keep your head on a swivel of sorts. Whoa, hey now! Gotta love the utilization of our abilities. Here we go. Here we go. Time to fight the final boss. Are you ready? Here we go. Goemon, you are a Fernandez. Now, if you've never played through this game yourself or watched any reviewer playthrough, get ready for something truly amazing, truly special, and something you will not be soon forgetting. And I'm not talking about that laugh. Oh no! Oh no! Well, I'm already a fan of Die Hard, so too late for that. Here we go! Brava! Brava! Well, you and me both, Abisumaru. Also, I think this is the only time we get to see all four party members together, like, out in the field like this. Kind of weird it took to the end of the game to do that. Now, thinking through it, we've seen only seen really two of them together at a time. Not even three. Weird. Anyways, it's time for the final impact. And you know what? I'm actually going to show this in full. Because why not? Such a catchy tune. Although I will be talking over it this time. I think I would have done some research as to this name of this person, because, you know, very famous singer, this guy. And unfortunately, no matter what, it is Goemon here. So for the first Impacts battle, it can be Goemon or Abisumaru. The second one can be any of the four. And for this final and third one, always Goemon. Covered out there's like 3 boss fights for each. There's 3 regular boss fights and 3 impact boss fights. Kind of weird how that ends up evening out with 5 major dungeons in the game. Dash, dash, dash. Alright, this one starts off with what to me is incredibly low health. It takes a good long while before we start getting that meter up. Also ups that I think this is the longest course of all 3 impact battles. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just for me playing through it, it felt the longest. Gotta make sure to smash through all the things, avoid the pitfalls, avoid that. As soon as I say that, I fall down. Lovely. I can promise you this. I do not watch this ahead of time before commenting. Like, I literally recorded this like a week and a half ago. I edited it, and now I'm just commenting over it. Like, I don't actually pay attention to every small detail that happens. I just sort of just do a rough edit and then just talk over it. Right now, it's time for the final boss of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. This is the Great Peach Mountain Battleship Barbara. And my voice woke up over my cats. Sorry about that, midnight. She looks very displeased at me. So yeah, this boss can be a bit of a pain, mainly because of all of the projectiles. Thankfully, we can destroy the things that launch the projectiles with projectiles of our own. So our main goal is to destroy the sensor of it. And the easiest way to do that would be with the laser, but of course I keep screwing up the input for the laser, which of course creates problems. Gotta love these mini Peach ships. Pain in the ass. Hooray! I hit it! Now each laser blast I think goes for 400 points of damage, which is pretty damn good. And my cat is now going back to sleep. I love how cats do that, like, they'll wake up, look around, and then go immediately back to sleep. Alright, even without the laser, I was able to do quite a bit of damage, so that's good. And with that, the quarterback is toast. Well, sucks to be you. Unfortunately, that of course wasn't the end. We all know that boss fights always come in at least 2 different phases. You can't just have a one-phase final boss fight. That would just be weak. This is the Fairy of Love and Dreams, Tetwa! Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Now, the one thing you're going to want to really do here is make sure you use your chain pipe correctly. Trust me, the chain pipe is your friend in these mecha fights. It'll become your bestie. If I could use it properly! And yes, sometimes he will shield himself from it, but, you know, at least that prevents him from attacking you. I'm just glad they only gave him 2,000 health. If they really wanted to make him challenging, they would have gave him 3,000. And there is me screwing up the input for the laser again. As you can see there, just because you have him chain pipe does not mean you can't take damage. And when it comes down to attack you with his tail, you have to use your chain pipe to prevent him from damaging you. Because he is too far out of range for you to use any of your punches or kicks. And with that, he's already down to below half health. Now, he may be invincible to your normal attacks while in this mode, but if you launch your laser at him, it can still hit him. If anything, that makes him extremely vulnerable to a laser, considering that he makes himself a super easy target. Oh, I hate this attack, I hate this attack, I hate this attack! As a kid, I hate this attack. As a teenager, I hate this attack. As an adult, I hate this attack. As a fully grown adult, I hate this attack. So, fuck you! Yeah, always keep your head on a swivel in this fight. He could be attacking from anywhere. His health is almost down to 0. We got this guy right where we want him. On the ropes. Dazed. Confuzzled. Here we go. Oh, look at that health. It's already down below 200. Below 200! His health is below 100. It's below 100. He is so fucked. He is fucked. And with one last punch, we defeat the final boss and bring an end to this adventure. One final beam attack. Well, now they truly have become stars. Literally. Ha! I said it first, though. That's a good question, Sasuke. But one thing at a time. Oh, don't you just love it when a problem solves itself? Quite miraculous that the whole island didn't burn up upon re-entry. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so vain. The vanity of heroes. What a twist! So that's how our game ends. With angry fangirls. Well, that's what happens when you mess with the idol industry, I guess. I wonder if that was slight commentary on the state of idol industry at the time. I don't know. Anyways, that was Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. Just a good old fun time. I had fun playing through it. I had fun commenting on it. I had fun editing this video. This is just usually one of the more fun projects I've got to work on in a while, and it's just a nice change of pace from having to do these constant reviews and editorials. You know, every now and again I just need to do something a little different. That's not just the same thing over and over and over again. And as you can see on the channel, I didn't stop reviewing. I already got a video out on Retromania Wrestling, a revisit of that game up on my channel that I hope you all enjoyed. And by the time this video goes up, I should at least be halfway done on the next video. What am I doing after Retromania? Who knows? I usually don't decide on what my next video is until I'm already in the editing process of that video. So who knows what will happen after that. I do enjoy this little montage of events in the game. And this is one of my more favorite credits themes. It's always been in my head, like, ever since I heard this, it's always been like something that's always been stuck in my head. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, I probably have, but you cannot pause during impact battles. So if like you need to use the bathroom or somebody interrupts you, too bad. Also gotta love that sort of flaming metal that we used literally once in the entire game. Just the entrance to the ghost story castle, and then never again, literally never again. Not even for like side stuff. Which you'd think they would at least have a use for that, for getting like fortune dollars, but no! You never use it ever again, it's the most useless item in the game. Oh, goodness gracious. Outside of Bisimaru's meat saw hammer, which I didn't even get, so second most useless item. Overall, I just love playing through this game. I love visiting the various towns. Even the castles aren't that much of a hassle because each castle takes like 20 minutes, 30 I'd say 25 minutes at max. Like, I'm able to get through them like at this point, which I always enjoy. Like, I know some people like dungeons to go like an hour, hour and a half. For them, that's like, yeah, give me the long dungeons. Me, I'm like, no. That's one of the reasons why I don't really like Twilight Princess, because that game's dungeons are way too long for me. Like, each dungeon in Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is well over 40 minutes long, and I am just not about that life. Not about it whatsoever. What I really enjoy about video games is the NPCs, the world building, the narrative, and just exploring the world itself. Like, dungeons are like the last thing I enjoy. Oh, here we go. Now we get some credits. Ichiro Mizuki. Here's a list of the voice actors. I like that they actually do credit the voice actors. Not something that was done all the time back in the day, believe it or not. Sometimes in modern games, voice actors get top billing over the actual developers. I always prefer developers get top billing over voice actors, but you know, voice actors are still very, very important. However, that is a topic for another time. Thank you all for joining me for this playthrough. I'll see you all next time. Now, let's look at all the fortune dollars that I missed!